Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today I'm going to bring you a really interesting video. This video is on how to solve the xenophage puzzle. Now, obviously, before you click off of this, of course, there are many Reddit posts that show you how to solve it in just a few simple steps. But what I want to do here is I want to actually teach you how you could have solved it yourself and how you can solve future puzzles, because there's going to be many more of these puzzles in the future of Destiny. Obviously, the studio Bungie really loves making these puzzles. We've seen this with not just the Xenophage quest, but with Niobe Labs and countless other things inside Destiny and Destiny 2. So you're definitely going to see more of these puzzles, and I want to give you guys a little peek into how I was able to solve the Hellmouth code. The other three I did actually find through Reddit because I was in kind of a hurry. I wanted to get the Xenophage as quickly as possible, but I did actually solve the Hellmouth code by myself, and I did so by creating an algorithm that I used and that I found on the first Lost Sector that I visited. But this is what I want to cover, and I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into how I did so and how you can in the future, whenever the next puzzle comes out, whenever the next who knows what it's going to be, exotic quest, whatever it may be, there's going to be a puzzle, and maybe if you could use these same principles, you can solve this puzzle really fast yourself, or entirely by yourself, not using Reddit and cheating and using all those Reddit posts, because that's definitely the cheap way of doing it, right? It would be really cool if everyone solved all the posts by themselves, but it's okay. Reddit is a beautiful thing. So what I want to cover first is that it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube. When we first jumped into this, we started to shoot it, and you could notice that it would light up all these different patterns depending upon which number you shot. And so from doing that, the first thing that I did was this. I actually wrote this down on a piece of paper next to me, and I often do this. This is how I actually solved the vault in the Last Wish raid. We actually did that really fast. We were one of the first few teams to do so, and obviously we did so during the world's first race, and we were able to do so entirely by ourselves. We didn't have to, rely on any outside sources, but just sort of have a piece of paper set next to me, or sometimes even bring up a notepad if I have to and write a bunch of stuff. And so the first thing I'll pull up is this here, and you'll notice that there's essentially 9 pieces, so it's a lot like a Rubik's Cube. And excuse my absolutely terrible drawing. I have no artistic ability, but so when you hit a slot, like let's say you shoot this slot, it will light up this direction and this direction. Okay, and so it will light up a total of 5 slots. No matter which one you select, it would light up that. And then if we take that back, if you were to light up this middle one, it would do the same. It would light this way, this way, this way, and this way. So it'd be a total of 5 pieces would rotate every single time. And so that was the first thing to notice, was the pattern of how many different rotations there would be. So obviously there's 9 different combinations that you could do. And so thinking about that, I wrote down the directional shape of each combination. I'm not going to do so here, but you can see that there's like an L shape and an upside down L shape and a cross shape and so on and so forth, and a T shape. And so I wrote down all these different combinations so that I could sort of see the pattern that I could create. And that's what I was trying to do. And I was trying to revert. First, I was trying to move as far forward in the pattern as I could until I came to a roadblock. And then I tried to reverse engineer it and sort of see how I could undo it from the backside. And I'll show you how I did that later. So first I came up with those patterns. And then I realized that if you were to tap one piece 4 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you would end up at the exact same pace. So I knew that tapping one piece 4 times brings you right back to the exact same slot on all of those slots. So if I were to tap this one 4 times, it would make this one rotate 4 times, this one, and this one. And they would all 4 return back to their original position without altering the puzzle at all. So that was also a good thing to notice, is that it worked on a rotation of 4 hits. And so 1 hit equals 5 pieces moved, and 4 hits on the same piece would equal a full rotation. And so then what ended up happening later on is that we ended up getting to a point where the puzzle had every single piece filled, except 1 piece wasn't in the right place. And that really struck a chord with me when we were just randomly pushing buttons, right? I started to think to myself, how could I manipulate, how could I adjust just that one little piece? How could I do that to make just that one piece change? And so that's where I started to create this pattern or this algorithm that I used. And then I understood that, wow, this is how I could solve all of these puzzles. And this is just, I'm going to give you just one example because I don't want this video to be so long and so exhaustive, but I want you to see sort of the little bit of the genius behind this, and how using this and how creating this, I was able to realize how to solve one of these puzzles. So what I was able to do was realize that I wanted to move just one piece. And for me, it was this piece in the corner here. So I wanted to do was hit each piece in a way in which I rotated all of these pieces 4 times, and only this piece one time or twice or 3 times or however many necessary. And so in doing so, I ended up testing things, and I wanted to move all these pieces but this one. So I knew I wasn't gonna click this one. And so I started to click this one. So when I knew when I hit this one time, I wrote down on the piece of paper that if I hit this one time, what the effect essentially is this. I would get one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. I was like, okay, cool. So after writing this down on a piece of paper, I could visually see what would happen if I push this. I realized then, I looked at the paper and I was like, okay, well, the next one I'll click will be here. So I'll click here and I'll get one here, one here, one here, here, and here. I was like, all right, here we go. I can sort of see how things are working. I was like, the next piece I'll hit then will be down here because this is obviously missing nothing, and this will work really well. I can sort of see where I'm missing pieces. So I hit this one here, and I got a rotation here, a rotation here, a rotation here, here, and here. And so I'm just simply filling in the void, and this is the rotation in which I hit them. So looking at this, I could realize that what I needed to do was hit the last piece here in order to get a rotation here. So I hit this corner piece here, and I get a move here, a move here, a move here, a move here, and a move here. By hitting... First, I'll say this is, if this was a numpad, this would be number 5 on a phone number pad, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was the sort of operation I was working by. So I knew if I hit 5, 6, 8, and 9, I would end up with this algorithm right here, where I have 3, 3, 3, and 3, and 2, 2, 0, 2, and 2. So I knew if I hit this one time here, what would happen is I would have a rotation of here, 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 and here. So now every single piece in this entire board has completely shifted. 3 full rotations. They've all shifted 1 forward, except for this one piece. And that's where I was able to completely move the entire board and completely rotate this selection here. And as long as I continued to do it in that rotation, 5, 6, 8, 9, I could continuously keep sifting through all of the different options in this corner and changing this one piece. And so I knew that this algorithm was very successful, and I could also invert this algorithm. Instead of doing 5, 6, 8, 9, I could do 5, 4, 2, and 1, and then hit this corner, and it would do the exact same thing. And I could do it for all 4 corners. And then after we solved the other pieces, I found other algorithms that worked for those. And so that was the sort of methodology that I used in order to come up with this. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you or not. Let me know in the comment section below. I know this is kind of a different video than what you normally see, but if you look at the actual puzzle itself, you can kind of tell what's going on here. You can see that I've made every single piece the sort of pizza slice shape, except the one in the top left. And so that's where my sort of thinking was coming in on this. And I was able to write this out and sort of create an algorithm, create a formula to solve this. And if you think about this and try to solve these puzzles yourself, maybe in the next future puzzle you'll be able to solve them and you won't have to entirely rely on Reddit. But of course Reddit will solve it before everyone else because there's just so many people pouring in their thoughts and ideas and people solving things so fast, which is always a good thing. But I always find it fun to solve these puzzles entirely on my own. And so hopefully you found this video instructive and helpful. If you did, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.